Yeah.
Also, I pressed the button.
No.
Yes, the button, not just any button.
Is it red?
No. If it was red, something would be horribly wrong.
Big red button.
No, it's a blue button.
Marked do not press.
Oh no.
It's not marked do not press?
No, it's marked stop recording.
Oh.
But I assure you
That's
that's
the
not
best
what it
button.
said when I pressed it.
Oh, does that mean we're on? We're live?
I hope you're
Yeah.
alive.
We're playing the
You can-
feud?
Every time I ask my smartwatch to check my heart rate, it says 0. So,
Well, that's a
Perhaps you've
concern.
become a vampire and did.
That's a conversation between you and your doctor.
Yeah.
is CPR right for you? Ask your doctor for details.
They changed the...
Okay, I'm distracted by bird brushing its beak by chewing on the toothbrush.
It's just like one of those greenies.
Oh, yeah, something like that.
This greenie tastes horrible.
Well, if it's too
I
distracting.
hope they don't give me another one when I finish it. Anyway, hello, welcome to Cause and Effect, a homebrew Dungeons & Dragons campaign. My name is Crash, I will be your DM for the evening tonight. I'm joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ellie, not Ely, although that too, Millie, Jen, and apparently a strange duck of some sort, with a weird hat. Okay, birds with teeth. What's weird is, we're talking about birds with teeth, and we have not brought up geese.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because they are terrifying. And penguins have teeth on their tongues.
I knew that.
Gotta keep the fish from getting away.
True. But also terrifying to look at. Anyway, what happened last time?
I was useful.
True. Also, Chadwick
I just
was.
feel like Chadwick was useful. I rolled all of the good numbers, and I followed it to a weird part of the city to figure out what was causing the shenanigans.
Yes, there was shenaniganery taking place, which was mostly in
A
the
foot.
form of sabotage. Well, there was a foot sticking out of one source of shenaniganery, which was a large pile of rusted
true,
metal
we
that
did
had
find
fallen upon a hapless worker who did not have their pockets rummaged through by a random ne'er-do-well, because there were some guards that kept them at bay, and then they were convinced by more than one individual, and by more than one individual, I mean Tex stood behind and just assisted, and they found that they had an important. But there are factories that were having their rusted machinery be destroyed. Anything that wasn't rusted was left intact. There were some skylights that had large holes in them, and somebody used Find Object to find that rust was spread over a good portion of the city, but mostly in a straight line. So,
I did something helpful.
yes, you did. We're all very proud of you, even if you're not proud of yourself because you feel like you have gone against your raison d'etre, or raison detritus. I don't know which it is.
Is this about raisins?
Is this French?
You're French?
It might
I
be
don't know.
Italian. Anyway, referencing
No,
things that are
definitely
not
not
part of the
Italian.
recording.
Not Italian. Only thing it can't be.
Okay, like the dressing. Anyway, you tracked it to a construction site that appears to be in a sorry state of repairs in and of itself, possibly abandoned, which is not unheard of in a city like this one. And there was a loud screeching sound that was like a combination of metal being torn apart and something being very angry. And at that moment, Tex decided to rush in, like Magnus before her. That's a reference. Now, the question I have is, were A and Chadwick riding on Tex still?
100%.
Okay. Tex, you rushed in, so I'm going to ask you to place your character where you would have rushed to. Understanding
Okay.
that you don't have
Where
dark
would I
vision.
have rushed to?
You
I
heard
do.
the sound coming from, if you zoom out to see the whole map, can you see that red thing? Not red thing, the yellow thing that's pointing?
No, but I can see a ping in the lower right corner.
That is the thing, that is where you heard the sound from.
Okay, and it looks like there's a wall between me and that.
Looks like there's a building. I bet we can jump it.
As the pink elephant flies, there is a wall between you and it. So you can attempt to Kool-Aid Man, or
Ow,
you can
boo.
attempt to do something else.
Ow, Boo.
That-
Break for cat.
Poor bit.
I know
Poor
that
Boo.
Ellie.
Boo just jumped into my lap with full claws out and then clawed my hand when I tried to lift him off.
This
That's
is why
why I
I
said
like
break
sweater
for
weather.
cat.
I have a sweater on.
It has not weathered the storm.
The sweater, it does nothing.
He hit me where there wasn't. He hit me where there wasn't sweater.
Just wants to be in her lap and love you.
No, he wants to
Right.
get on my desk.
And like that sounds like violence. That sounds like...
Parent, I crave violence.
Mindful of the fact that I still have A and Chadrick on me. For some reason.
Why else?
I'm going over here first.
I don't care if it goes into a wall. I'm going with you.
I'm uncomfortable.
The game tried telling me I couldn't
but
do
I
that
guess I'm
motion.
going along. Hey,
I mean, you can jump off whenever you want, eh?
no, A cannot, because somehow A has managed to see those gifs of the dog jumping out of a car window and rolling.
Mm-hmm.
A does not want to be the dog.
This is funnier. Tex was fully intending to take this corner at speed. Instead, she stops, gently places Chadrick and A on the ground, and then continues charging.
Yeah, that is funnier.
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
All right.
And that's where I intend to end up.
Awesome.
Unless I can go under this thing, which sounds dangerous since I can't see what's there.
I would allow you to go under it. What you see is some random construction supplies, but not enough to make it be difficult.
Okay. Was the direction that I was heading in the right direction? Like, given where I heard the sound coming from?
More or less, you are correct.
Okay.
I like to perceive as I also follow.
You perceive with a 19 that for as dilapidated as this construction site appears to be, there is not a lot of equipment that appears to be rust. There's
This
equipment.
place is in use.
There is equipment that is run down. The rundown equipment is mostly made of wood and in some cases ceramic.
So this is an actively in use area.
Or something already harvested all the rust from this area.
Ah.
I'm going to ask everyone to roll
And what
for
about the
initiative
area
now.
with the noise as I walk this way?
You are going in the right direction if you wish to engage with the thing that made the noise, or the wrong direction if you wish to reprise your role as the person who looks for a porta potty.
Well, no. I mean, because I was doing it as I was continuing to follow text. So what's in the direction of the noise?
Well, there appears to be a structure that is meant to be more than one story, but right now there's just the framework for the first story put in place. There's no walls. There is a roof that you can see some things on top of it, and there's some construction materials placed underneath that I guess keep it out of the elements a bit. But the noise came from somewhere in that direction. You'd have to hear it again to know for sure. And Jen, I am going to ask you to open Mech's character sheet, and over on the top right, there is a box below the experience bar that says initiative.
Okay.
If you could click that.
Upper right-hand corner.
Okay. Yep. Got it.
Just click the word initiative.
There we go.
A 10.
All right, so we have initiative. Hobby, you're up.
Hobby hasn't.
Oh, I have a 12 actually. Sorry. Go ahead.
I got the highest one.
Yeah,
I
you got
see.
17.
Okay.
I did not roll for the
I
pink
can
elephant.
hear things.
Yeah, you heard a thing,
Pink elephant goes
and
on
then you saw
Chadrick's turn.
text run off in a direction that was not directly at it.
I would like to sneak at speed to where I can see what the heck is going on with Tex.
Okay, so you have the ability to see in the dark. So you saw Tex run off at an angle and then go around a corner, ostensibly to go around the wall.
Right.
My question is, are you going to follow in Tex's footsteps, or are you going to take the high ground and get there before her? I almost said ye.
I'll
because
get there
that's the
before
song.
her, but I would like to do the high ground. Mm-hmm. I think taking the high ground would be, in fact, a great idea, especially if it gets me a better view.
Then it'll be over.
Huh?
Well, isn't that how it goes? It's over when you have the high ground, or is that only when you're fighting Anakin?
No one has given me a lightsaber.
Tragic.
Yet.
Yes. Yet.
Okay. Well, if you wish to take the high ground, there's a wall to the southeast of you that you can go to and attempt to climb.
That be the attempted movement collides with at least one wall.
Yes, if only the DM could move you.
Yes, please move me.
Okay, so if you want to climb this wall, give me an acrobatics check at advantage because you have claws.
At advantage.
Okay, with a dirty 20, yeah.
Dirty 20?
Congratulations, you can see Chadrick off in the distance attempting to perceive.
I'm doing a pretty
Okay.
dang good job.
You are. For a 10-foot radius, you are superb at this.
I'm so good at this.
And if I'm correct on what Foundry is showing me, I can spot Tex a bit as well?
You can see
Or no?
You can see the gleam of Tex further off in the distance. Well, you're assuming it's Tex. How many 7-foot-tall murder bots are there in this? Don't answer that question. It's actually a non-zero number.
Exactly. The question is how many are in the building with us? Because that actually is a kind of pertinent thing you might want to know.
Statistically, you are more likely to run into a Warforged in the factory district than anywhere else in this city. However, this does not look to be an active construction site, and therefore chances are that Warforged you see silhouetted in the gloom is in fact Tex.
That I can see that I can do. Do I have any more move left?
I would say,
And if so, can I do it with stealth?
I would say you've got 10 more feet of movement. You can attempt to be stealthy from here if you want, or you could say I'm in a high spot and I can see further, like all cats do.
Can I get onto whatever that thing is that's blocking my sight to the south? There's a
Let's
lumpy
see.
thing. Oop,
I'm
What did
going to
that do?
move you real quick.
Yep.
Yeah,
That thing that's right.
I would say you can make a jump to it. There we go.
I would like to do that, and then I would like to flatten myself to it with stealth so that I can see what else is going on without being seen, hopefully.
The ears are back and you
Stealth
are
roll?
in vulture pose. Yes, please.
Yes. Stealth roll.
You believe you are very stealthy. It's probably just you
I would
that
believe
hears
I
you
was very
breathing.
stealthy if
It's probably just you that hears you breathing and your claws on the
Probably.
metal thing that you're on.
I mean, I would generally believe I was stealthy unless I fell off, because I am a cat.
And your tail
meant to do
occasionally smacking the barrel of the thing that you're on, because you're on some type of spherical.
I try not to do that, but well.
And
Okay.
your purr. It's a
I
very quiet
will-
purr. Probably no one hears the purr. Yeah. Exactly. All right.
Next.
What
Hey.
is that noise?
I need to check. Does she already have? Well, she didn't, but she does now. There we
Wow.
go. Because that was not the first time that Ellie made me laugh, but I just assumed that she already had inspiration, so I didn't check before. Okay, it is
Oops.
A's time to shine. A is going to mutter something about this being a bad
Cast light
idea.
on himself.
Uh-huh.
It's A's time to shine. A is casting light on himself.
I just gave inspiration. Also,
You
A
just-
can't cast.
Inspiration, Ellie.
Also, A has no cantrips. A is not an arcane trickster. A is a soul
A
knight.
got some pretty weird magical items.
A's just a strange little fella.
A has psionic powers.
We like them.
Aw, just like his big bro.
I learned it from watching you. Look what I can do.
Yes.
You have the tune of Baby Kobold in your head. Is to the tune of Baby Shark, but it's Baby Kobold.
Baby, gobble doo doo.
Yes, the words don't track. That doesn't bother A,
It's not important.
and it's only in your head.
That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I, as a person, spent about 6 hours watching Sesame Street today. I'm fine. Why, yes, I was babysitting my nephew. What do you mean?
Okay, and A is going to use a bonus action to hide.
Excellent. One day A will backstab us all, and we will deserve it.
A goes invisible.
That's
All right.
such a good roll.
It was a 16 on the die.
That's pretty good anyway.
A is a very good rouge. A is a very dark rouge,
Ex-
almost black in the night. And it is Mech's turn.
Okay, so I'm assuming Mech is not really seeing much.
Correct.
So
as evidenced by the
she's
fact that Mech is
going
not
to-
seeing anything.
Right, yeah. It's just like, okay, so she's going to take her battle axe off of her back and try to use the flat side to sort of poke what's ever in front of her so she can kind of not hit things yet. You know?
I will tell
Last
you
thing
that
you want is a murder bot that like falls over something, you know?
I will tell you that you heard
Go ahead.
most of the party run off to the northeast, and you
Okay.
heard Hobby
Northeast?
northeast because then they
Okay, so I'll start.
because then
walking
Tex
that
went around
way.
the corner, and you heard
Oh,
Hoppy
right,
run
there's-
off into the southeast.
Okay, so I'll like slowly kind of walk over there. I guess. 8 feet would be going.
If you want to
Guess I
double
don't know.
move,
I'm in
which
the
I
dark.
recommend because there's nothing for you to fight yet, that would
Right.
be you can move up to 60.
Okay, can you move my character there?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 40, 50, 55.
Okay.
You're welcome. Tex, it is now your turn. You are near where you heard the screeching sound, but you don't see anything yet.
Up.
Okay. I am coming around here. Dang it.
For the listeners at home, this is what happens when the antagonist of the rolls very low on their...
One else gets to go first.
Not everyone. There is
Healers
another.
go. Oh, right.
Yeah, I am rather behind.
Chadrick got a 2. As the paladin,
Obviously,
coming over
Chadrick
Chadrick
here.
is
is
the healer.
No, I take that back. I'm coming up here. Since I can't see anything to handle at the moment, I'm coming up here and I'm holding my action.
All right. The car alarm goes off in the distance. Pops.
It's okay. We don't hear it.
Wonderful. I am checking movement. Ah, understood. That's way better than wonderful. Way better for them.
I'm worried.
So Foundry doesn't understand that this creature is flying. So it's like, no, you can't go that way. There's a wall. Where we're going, we don't need any.
What if I do anyway?
You need a wall?
You hear A yell, "It's coming and it's big."
The wall?
The monster.
Oh,
Apparently, it just needed another brick.
once they learn how to build the walls sideways and not just up, we're doomed.
Okay, I need to
It's-
change.
A bat.
Hmm?
It's a bat. It's a bat.
I need to change its scale because the art doesn't show the prop. It's a medium-sized creature, but it has wings.
Hmm.
So I need to increase the size of it so that while it's only taking up enough for a medium-sized creature, the wings go further. There we go.
Oh, look at him.
Yeah, he's very nice. He's gonna use an attack.
What is he?
Well, he looks like a dragon made of rust.
Rust Dragon.
It's a problem.
And Ellie,
Rust
if you,
Dragon.
if you could do me a favor and go to the chat and click on the button that says Saving Throw DC 15 Dex. Okay, you make your save. Wonderful.
Vomit Scrap's a horrible name.
Well, it's a horrible thing. It opens its jaw
Yep.
and it's not like a breath weapon. Well, it is like a breath weapon in that it comes out of its mouth. It is not like a breath weapon because it's more like what you see when a cat has a hairball made of metal.
That's. Percy was just throwing up on things earlier. I had to
Oh.
clean it up.
That's 51 points of damage.
Wrong.
Eee.
Now,
That's a.
here's the tragedy, Crash.
Mm-hmm.
Not only do I take half of the total damage,
Because you made your save.
but I
yes.
have damage resistance because I have resistance to poison damage.
The only tragedy here is that 51 does. Oh, wait, there we go. I can. If I click on the 51, it expands and it says 25 points was from the slashing of the metal shards coming down on you.
Ah,
26 was from the poison,
So it's 13 divided by 2.
plus 25 divided by
Yeah.
so 18 points.
something like this.
Still
This would
much,
have been
much better.
this would have been really bad if anyone else had been hit by this. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good that you stopped for a moment and let Chadrick and A get off at the last bus stop.
I thought it might be.
Beep, beep.
I paid for my ticket with exact change.
I demand more stops. Why don't you
Poppy's
drop me
tail-
off at the library?
Has puffed up
I would also
Uh-oh.
silently.
text like you to make another
We're in
save.
trouble, guys. No, we're in trouble. I'm below 100 hit points.
Oh no.
You have another save?
One save.
A Constitution saving throw if you.
Where did my blankie go? Here's a blankie.
Okay, with a nat 20, you don't need to worry about anything, and I don't need to read flavor text. This is fine. You're pretty sure that you're not going to need to worry about a breath weapon recharging.
Oh, well, it stopped 10 feet away from me, didn't it?
It didn't stop 10 feet away from you. It used some movement to get in range of you, and then vomited on you. I'm feeling more comfortable about describing that.
Fair.
And now it's going to use the rest of its movement.
No.
I am absolutely taking my attack of opportunity.
I am too.
It was over 10 feet above you.
Okay, I have a whip.
Flying things are jerks.
The flying things are jerks, yes. So 3 of you
Are
saw
you
it go
saying
off
I
in a
can't
direction.
whip it?
The whip is probably a bit something.
10 feet.
I will let you make an attack at disadvantage.
Okay, cool.
It's dark.
Attack at disadvantage. No.
No,
Oh,
the 7's
no.
not going to do it. Which is for the best, because there's a chance that you would have gone for a ride.
That would have been fun. Oh yeah, can I read its mind?
That's an excellent question. You wish to read its surface thoughts?
Very unfortunately, yes.
Pain, leave,
Who's-
hungry,
Turner.
leave, pain, alone, leave.
Why? Yeah.
Whose turn are we on at this point?
It's gonna be mine soon.
It is now Chadrick's turn,
Okay.
Why?
because you rolled a 2.
This is me back to it.
Chadrick is trying to circumvent the fight with
Actually,
diplomacy.
wait a minute. For your ability to read languages, read minds rather, does it matter what language it's in, or you just read the thoughts whether or not it's a language you beat?
Does not matter the language.
The language does not matter. Language matters not. Okay.
As
So
long
then
as
I
it
don't
understands
regret
a language, I am able to communicate.
Well, it understands a language. The language is probably
What's
not
up, my
common.
guy? That's okay. We understand each other still. I don't need where I'm going. I don't need languages.
Well, you're not getting a reply other than what I've already told.
Come on, my guy. I don't want to have to fight you.
Where did Hobby end up?
On top
It's
of a
going
large
towards Hobby.
barrel on top of some pallets that is next to a wall that Hobby climbed.
Also, Crash, before I do my actual motion, this was my real question I was going to ask. Since last time, I managed to get a nat 20 on a history check. Don't ask how. But is there anything I can roll to see if I know what the hecky this is?
It appears to be draconic in nature, but there are plenty of things that have been made to resemble dragons that were not actually dragons.
I just remember it was draconic, and there was like a construct, and it really likes rust, and I was wondering if any chance I would know anything about what to do about it.
Okay, so I will tell you, with a nat 20 history check, this is new. This is not something from any history book you...
Real?
And keep in mind, when you went back in time, things started to change. History, for you, will not always be what the future is supposed to be for everyone here. This
But my
is
mom
something
knew about
new.
it.
Your mom did not know about dragons made of rust.
Okay, fine.
Ellie,
Anyway,
how dare you? That is glorious, but how dare you?
going to chat.
Open source.
Anyway, open source jokes. Free for all. Anyways,
It's ruby-eyed, and it lands on those rails over there.
where did it go?
There is a large
know it went
building
towards Hobby.
to the west of you,
Oh, there it
and
is.
it flew up to the top of
There
it.
it is. Okay, fine. Is there any way I can make it stop doing things? Like, I don't know, persuade it with a scream in the head?
You can attempt that.
Would that be my action?
I would allow that to not be an action, although I don't know what kind of action you'd be able to do right now if you intend to stay there. You would have to attempt to
Well,
climb
I
up
was
to it.
intending
or
on
throw
probably
something out.
casting a spell or something, but
I mean, you could attempt
let me
that
try to
spell.
see if I can make it. Let's try diplomacy. Oh, my pretzels.
Chadrick casts Find Steed to summon it 5 feet above the rust drake.
Down. But yeah, I mean, like, if I can't make it stop screaming and all that stuff, because I can tell it's sad. If I can't get it to calm down, I'm gonna probably do some magic. Dirty 20.
You get the sense that it's hunkering down where it is and not preparing for another strafing, which is good because,
Guys,
as you already know, Tex is below 100 hit points.
Guys, I think it's I relay that information. I'm not gonna try and
It screams again, though.
come up with a... It's very, very mad that we're here, but I don't think it's planning on attacking us again for the moment. I'm definitely going to be paying attention to it mentally, so if it starts to think about it, we can
It did
Do
kill
a
Barney,
thing.
though.
yeah, but
Did it mean to?
it seems like it just is very sad and very hurt and very angry. So why don't we like try to figure out why? Maybe it just doesn't. Something's wrong more than we think.
It's not protecting eggs, is it?
That's not a word I remember hearing in its head. It just was screaming about being in pain.
Considering what it just threw up, maybe it should not eat stuff like that hurts its stomach.
Does anyone have eyes on it?
I got mental eyes.
Do you know where it is?
I picked
Yeah,
the
it's right up
absolute worst place to hide.
It's on top of your hiding place.
There, I can't see through this box. That's right in front of me.
I drew a circle around it.
You
It's not
did,
within
in
my
fact,
sight.
draw a very large,
I think we can't
irregular
see.
circle.
Sure,
I
so
don't
a reason
see it.
though my drawing decided to be only in the color brown, which is not very helpful.
When I
situation.
when I click on text, text can see it a little bit. It looks like Chadrick
Okay,
can
I've
see it a
changed
little bit.
I've changed the color. Nope.
Hobby,
No, I didn't.
it's in a blind spot for Hobby because there's stuff in the way, and there's a blind spot for A because there's stuff in the way. Mech, the thing that Hobby is
My
on
turn?
is blocking Mech's view. No, it's not Mech's turn. Yeah, I'm just going over who should be able to see something for where it is.
Okay.
It's
Huh?
where you are positioned. You can see Hobby, a silhouette of Hobby on top of a large box. Or
I'm trying my best
cylinder
to
of
show where it
something.
is.
But that's blocking your view of wherever this thing lands. Half
Okay.
of my reason for picking this
Oh, I
map
can
is
see that
because
now.
we normally, when we're doing combat or something on a map, the map doesn't matter so much in regards to the terrain. So I wanted something where there'd be more of a challenge.
Mhm.
And there's much more of a puzzle.
Is
to
my
it.
drawing helpful?
Yep.
Now the
I don't
service
know how
thoughts
much more
are
I can
yellow, ugly, yellow, yellow. Prefer dark
The
red.
yellow's good enough. Good enough.
Hobby, it is your turn.
Hobby would like to.
Oh.
Tex?
Tex was holding her action.
Ah, right.
What would Tex like to do?
Tex has suddenly realized that she's not sure she can do what she wants to do.
It is kind of
That's
high up on a
D&D,
building.
everyone.
I haven't actually done an action. I've just kind of screamed a lot mentally and out loud.
That is true. And I sort of just ended your turn without your input. So we have two actions to resolve, one from Chadrick and one from Tex.
I'll let Chadrick resolve their action first.
Actually, I'm doing my best to do a diplomacy. So I'm really just kind of waiting for a moment to diplome.
It's a great use
Okay.
of that.
Yes.
To diploma.
Would like to move and climb. Oh, right. Sorry. Tex gets to resolve an action.
I'm wondering how tall the wall between me and that building is.
I'd say about 10 feet. Are you going to Kool-Aid Man?
No,
Okay. On one
I am
hand,
going
relieved,
to.
but on the other, it would have been. Please continue.
This is going to be an action that's spread over 2 rounds because of the way combat in D&D works. Tex is going to appear to be like halfway through the action until the end of her next turn.
Works for me.
And I'll spend my inspiration if I have to put a little extra effort into this. But I am going to take the dash action and then jump onto the top of this wall.
Wow.
Okay.
I can do 8 feet easily. 10 feet's a little high, but I'll spend my inspiration if I have to get to the top.
You know what? You earn inspiration so frequently, I'll allow it.
And that's it.
All right. And now it is Hobby's turn.
Question.
Answer.
Would this thing count as a humanoid?
No.
No.
Huh?
I
Are
wanted
you-
to try casting calm emotions.
It is definitely not humanoid, although that would have been a cool thing to do if it was.
See, look at me. I'm doing the think. I'm
One needs to
continuing
research things that work on sapients, not just humanoids.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. Chadrick will try to be a little bit more helpful in the future. He's having
it's all right.
No, I'm joking. He's having his growth arc now.
Hobby would like to jump to the wall top that's next to her and slink along until she can get eyes on this thing again using stealth.
Okay, this will
And any
take
other
a flying
rolls.
leap, so I will require another acrobatics check.
Okay, acrobatics first.
Yes, please.
Acrobatics.
Okay, a 21 will do it. You do a flying cat-like leap to here.
And instantly stealth to try to flatten self such that hopefully not noticeable.
Okay.
Will 25 be stealthy this time?
That is an excellent question. I am going to switch to private GM role. This is the point where I would usually expect Ellie to say something like, I see how it is, but no, she wouldn't. That's the whole thing.
You can't.
It's a private GM role. I can see it.
Game Master privately rolled some dice. Question mark, question mark, question mark?
Terrifying.
Now, what's its perception? Ah, okay. You feel like you're very stealthy.
I would feel like I was very stealthy anyway.
Well, this is true. You are cat.
I am cat.
Hear you purr.
Oh.
Which is why you were not actually stealthy the last time, but never mind. Okay. A is going to 5, 30, 40, 50. Stop to high five Chadrick because Chadrick. Okay. For A, it's a high five.
Yeah.
What was that?
Low 5. Boop.
55, 60. So that's a double move. Bonus action dash. And then A needs to climb.
Hopefully not Hobby's tail.
Did you see A's roll?
You're
No.
still in private.
Okay. That answers a question for me because I didn't know if setting my rolls in that little box private meant all rolls I made were private. All right. That answers that question.
Apparently.
For the record, it was a 16 with modifiers. So A does start climbing, but A starts climbing slowly and doesn't make it all the way to the top. But A is saying something in Draconic.
Twitches her ears around, but is otherwise silent.
And I'm checking everyone's character sheet to see if anyone speaks Draconic.
I do.
Ah, I do.
But Pocky, you're not here right now. You're busy on a ship with no back end because the tail fell off.
I can read. I'm reading his mind, and therefore I don't need language.
A is mostly saying things like, it's okay, it's all right, we're here to help. I'm sorry, it's okay, we're here to help. We don't want to hurt you. Does your stomach feel better now? I know last time I ate some bad food, I was throwing up for like 3 weeks. It was really awful. The smell was, don't think you started at that. But that's what A is doing. Mech, it is now your turn.
So am I hearing that then?
Yes.
Is now my turn?
A is not trying to be
Okay.
quiet at this point.
Okay, so I can hear him in Draconic because she's got like 4 languages somehow. So,
It's
yeah.
funny that without Chadrick's ability to read minds, you would be the only one who can understand A someday.
Yep. Yep. Okay, so I want to move closer towards whatever this thing is.
All right.
I don't know how many to do with that exactly.
Well, the good news is you can see where Chadrick ran to. You can see what Tex is in the process of doing, and you can see that A is currently scaling a building because that spotlight over there appears to be magical in nature and has just been on this whole time.
Okay.
So if you
I'm gonna,
if you can see the characters on the board, you know where they are.
Okay, then I know where they are. All right. So I'm gonna move closer to the rest of the party, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. You can move me like right behind A or something. However, how far I can get. It says movement 40 feet, I guess.
Movement 40 feet would take you to like right around here.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
And you still have
Hi,
an
Murder
action.
Mom.
You still have an action and bonus action.
Okay, now that I
could use you.
Yeah. So previous to getting near the light, I was like kind of poking the air in front of me so I wouldn't fall over something. But now my battle axe is probably useful, so I'm gonna like hold it and just see what happens. If that thing charges or flies lower, I'm probably gonna hit it with a battle axe.
We're not here to hurt you. Ignore the murder bot with the very large battle axe that has no rust on it at all, so it shouldn't be of interest to you.
I start giggling and no one knows why. A few people know why.
Everyone knows why. Pretty much everyone knows why. Okay, the giggle is probably because they just remembered a funny joke. It's fine. It's fine. Any other thing you want to do
Things
besides
good.
giggle?
I don't know what else I can do.
Okay.
What else is there in life?
Besides giggling while brandishing a battle axe?
jokes.
Not much.
No, that's not scary at all. Not at all intimidating now.
No, it's fine. Giggling menacingly.
Mhm.
We were talking about Spy X Family earlier. I think the 4-year-old would be able to. Having never seen the show, everything I know about it is from the synopsis that Millie provided earlier. But in any case, Tex, it is now your turn, and I believe you are halfway through an action.
I certainly am. I suspect, going to be asked to again double move. Regardless of how this ends up playing out. I have to do a quick measurement. Yes, easy. Okay. My momentum from last round carries me into a long jump that goes across to the building, which I can't do because it collides with at least one wall, which is the point.
You want to collide with this wall here.
Yes.
Okay. For you,
And I'm getting up. Sorry.
finish your sentence because that might change what I was going to say.
I'm getting up as high as I can during the jump.
Understood. So For Hobby and A, I would require that to be an acrobatics check. But for you, let's go with athletics.
Okay.
Okay, a 22 will do it.
As a 22.
With that 22, I am going to ask Hobby and A to make not acrobatics, but athletics check.
Uh-oh.
That's there's our athletics.
Sorry.
There's still Game Master is still question marking. A has private dice.
Okay, that's not A rolling 8.
Uh-oh.
That's the DM rolling. Hobby and A.
Sorry.
Tex does the flying leap onto this structure and does it so well that the whole thing shakes, and both of you lose your grip and take 8 points of falling damage.
I am not quite the deadliest thing in this encounter yet.
No, but you're working up to it.
I still need to do 2 more points of damage.
Idiots.
And actually, there is another.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Don't worry, everyone. The rust drake was able to stay on top of the building. The rust drake did not take falling damage.
Now, here's my question. Is that my movement, or did that require a double move? I'm satisfied with getting to the same level I was when I left the wall, if it means that I still have movement left to climb with.
Considering you also used your movement from the last turn, I would say that was not a double move.
Okay. Then I'm going to double move this turn and climb 15 feet.
Chadrick is trying to keep everybody in the loop, according to text.
The group walkie-talkie.
Yes,
I mean,
you
we
do
have
it.
flagstones. You can just talk.
I mean, that's true, but also, why bother using my face muscles when I can just think it at you?
That's fair.
That is something that Chadwick was doing long before we had the flagstones, yes. Now, perspective
It's true.
on this map is a little weird, so I'm only moving you 5 feet, but believe in your heart that you are 15 feet higher.
Yeah, that makes sense. Face paro argotea. Okay. Face paro. And for anyone who speaks Greek, that's very funny.
What I love about this is Millie could only find this GIF with Greek subtitles, but there's someone in this conversation right now who speaks Greek. I love it.
I just put up a picture of the radio transmission lady from the Atlantis Disney movie to explain how Chadwick does party chat.
Mm-hmm.
What I should have done was require a dexterity save to avoid being entangled in all of the yellow and red lines.
It's just my helpful, hey, this is where the monster is.
Yes, it's very helpful, but also very fun.
What does that mean?
It's a
I don't know.
recharge on Barf.
A barf
Text.
charge?
I would like you to... Are you approaching in a menacing way, or are you trying to be like A was doing?
I don't think Tex can approach in a non-menacing way.
Fair. Give me a persuasion... I'll let you make a choice. Either a persuasion check at disadvantage, or an intimidation check.
I
That you
am
don't
going to
want
be
to pass.
blasting smooth jazz instrumental music to try and calm the thing down.
That's my second natural 20 of the night.
Wow.
Good news, Tex. You have startled the panicked rust drake.
Oh, that's good.
Just so long as it doesn't empty the other end when it's startled onto whatever startled it.
That's one way to get the rust back.
I mean, it's what like a lot of critters do, like frogs.
Because I cannot be bothered to work out the perspective of exactly how we triangulate things from the ground part of the map to the top of the building part of the map, I am going to say that this breath weapon diffuses before it gets to Hobby and A, so you just sprinkled by a light coating of iron oxide.
You.
Slightly Ferris.
Yes.
I'm orange!
Save the Ferris.
I'm glad somebody went there. Tex, if you would please click the button to make a DC 15 dexterity saving throw.
I thought you said I didn't have to worry about
That
I mean,
one.
you
This is
scared
this
it
one.
enough that it wow.
a recharge.
Hmm.
The DM lies.
You scared it into barfing.
It was so scary.
Okay,
Holy
let's take a look at
Krishna,
these
half-
numbers. So you're taking half damage.
Ay, ay, ay.
So far as the slashing
Yes.
damage is concerned, you are going
So-
to take 7 slashing.
7
Yes,
slashing
better.
and 5 poison.
Correct.
Okie dokie.
That's way less than the first time I rolled
Those
things.
dice go. Yeah.
It's true.
Seeing all those dice go across the board is extremely
Terrifying.
intimidating.
Yes.
Yes.
It
Like,
is.
Oh no.
Dang it. Wait.
And
Half
the-
of, half 15 is 7. Half of... I need to learn to do math.
Math, our greatest enemy and strongest ally.
Our greatest enemy. Half of 15 is 7. 1/4 of 21 is 5. So that's 12 points of damage. I was at 96, so that's 84.
So that was the Rust Drake's attack. For its movement, I'm going to move it to here, fully understanding that it's not stopping its movement at this spot, but at this point, it is going to be leaving your range. Therefore, you do get what you wanted earlier. Would you like to make an attack of opportunity?
I would. And just a moment, I need to check something. Okay. Yes, I would like to make an attack of opportunity. Let me see if I can remember how to do that.
Okay.
And that's number 3.
I think at the end of our last cause and effect game, Chadrick handed his dice over to Tex.
Yeah, something like that.
apparently.
Probably.
Yes. Go ahead and roll that beautiful bean footage of damage.
Well, I have to look something up first.
Oh,
You
no.
know, I was trying for diplomacy.
Well, your diplomacy didn't crit.
That sounds like a Chadrick thing.
It really does.
Uh-huh.
So 2 things. 3 things, actually. First, that's 24 damage. Second, that's bludgeoning damage. And so when I hit a creature with an attack that deals bludgeoning damage, I can move it 5 feet to an unoccupied space. And I happen to know that this creature is medium-sized. So it's not more than 1 size larger than me. And I'm moving it down.
So you do an overhand swing onto its back.
Yes.
The wings fold up as it goes down suddenly, which you would think that would hinder its ability to remain aloft and gliding. You would be correct in this assumption. I'm going to cut its movement extremely short because it is now falling and not with style. It's going to hit the ground next to Mech and roll.
Okay.
And at this point, I'm going to say it is not moving of its own volition, so it does not invoke an attack of opportunity for that. And Chadrick,
I'm chasing
stay. And it lands in a heap on the other side of Chadrick. Chadrick, no. Chadrick, do not go near the Rust Drake's
No.
mouth. You haven't gotten your tetanus shots.
There's one more thing.
I am immune to disease.
Fair. There is one more thing.
When you score a critical hit that deals bludgeoning damage to a creature, attack rolls against that creature are made with advantage until the start of your next turn.
Oh dear. You know, we've been playing for about an
Finally.
hour. What?
Finally, that part of the Crusher feat comes into play.
I was about to say, you said 3 things, and then finally was the 4th thing. But no, the finally is just Ellie being incredibly happy that this ability is being used. It is useful. I can word.
And then watch me, I'm
Finally,
You
gonna
should take a
at
find
look.
long
way.
last.
Yep.
Yes.
And this is when the TPK happens, but the characters are retired. Chadrick can go off into the sunset knowing he's been helpful. Tex used an ability. Hobby was sneaky, and Mech had a good
We've
time.
done
He
it.
was
We've
sneaky.
peaked as a party.
What's that?
We've peaked as a party.
Yes. Time to wrap it all up.
I hope you guys enjoyed the campaign. Time for a new character.
But in all seriousness, now the Rust Drake is within 5 feet of Chadrick. Let's take a short break. We'll be back in a little bit. And we're back. Pasta may or may not be involved, but what is involved is a Rust Drake on the ground. There may or may not be a gouge in the ground from its crash landing. Tex is still, I'm assuming, hanging by one arm at the top of a framed out skyscraper, looking back at the destruction she has wrought with a nat 20.
Pretty much.
Also, great song reference. Good for you. And everyone else is just looking at oh, great. It's within melee range. Oh, great. It's within melee range.
I'm going to assume that the time for diplomacy has passed.
That is an assumption you can make. It has assumed that it has a mouthful of dirt.
That's fair. I'm still connected to its mind. I'm going to try to probe in again and be like, hey. Hey.
Pain, leave, hungry, pain.
What would make you feel better? What caused pain besides a mallet?
Referring to Ellie's warhammer as a mallet. It's like referring to a jackhammer as a toothpick.
I have tenderized the meat.
Are you sure it's actually made of meat?
There is a light rain of iron oxide falling down upon all of you right now. What is this? Oh my gosh.
It's Amy the Hedgehog.
Are those sweat droplets flying off of whatever that thing is flying in the air that she is threatening?
Yes.
Apt. Okay.
Anyways, so
I am noticing that you have a persuasion of plus.
Yeah.
And an animal handling of plus.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to make an animal handling roll, but add your persuasion modifier. In other words, roll persuasion, but we're treating this like animal handling.
And they'll add 4 to it. No.
Do you want to use your inspiration? Do you have inspiration?
I actually don't at the moment.
Oh, no.
I know, for once.
So, mechanics-wise, it can't really be doing anything right now, but it mentally snaps at you, says some words in Draconic that...
Sorry.
Do I understand those words?
Away,
That was rude.
Away. Leave alone.
What made you hurt before we show up?
Pain. Hunger.
What you want to eat?
It's hangry.
What's your
Someone
favorite
pulls
food?
out a Snickers bar made entirely of metal. It's just an iron ingot.
Is my Fantasy Hilton reward points on a iron card?
It is not. It's virtual currency. They're on the blockchain. I just made them infinitely worse, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah.
As they should
I feel
be.
dirty
This is the
having
Hilton.
them in my mental realm.
This is the Hilton.
It's low
Peace
tech.
was never an option.
Yeah. It's low tech. They might be like blocks of concrete or something. You know, they etch them into a
The
large
literal
block and chain them to things.
It's an arcane blockchain.
Worrying.
You thought tech bros were bad. Imagine if they were all wizards.
You mean wizards aren't? Sometimes.
Do I have anything metal, iron, steel on me?
That's an excellent question. We really never go through your equipment. I just realized your
I don't know if I
background.
do.
Like I've been reminded that your adventurer's background is celebrity adventurer's scion. That amuses me.
Yeah.
So you have a dagger that I do believe you have never used.
I will put the dagger in front of the dragon's face as an offering.
Chadrick, are you the kind of
Dagger.
person who maintains your gear?
What?
Are you the kind of person who takes care of your
No.
equipment?
Actually, I'm pretty sure that since I haven't used the dagger, I have kept it shiny.
Okay. So that would be something
Probably
that
a
doesn't have
problem.
rust on it.
Does he only eat rust?
It's all he's eaten so far.
Yeah, but what if he tries something a little cleaner? Maybe that's what's hurting him.
Can't eat, not ripe.
Yeah. Anyone got rust on them?
Ace,
I mean, aside from
prone
what's
on the ground.
my fur,
but yeah, A and Javi are currently orangish red colored. A was already that color, but A's gear was not until now. I feel like I've been lightly seasoned. Heavily seasoned.
'cause-
When A
He's
sneezes,
kind of
there's
hungry.
this
Anyone
red
got some
cloud.
rust for this? He's kind of hungry. Does anyone have some rust for this dragon? Maybe he'll calm down if we give him some food.
Meat's not filling.
Needs rust?
Need rust. Rust
He needs
fills.
rust.
Okay.
Rust is like a
Are
good
we-
McDonald's burger to him.
Okay.
tricky.
Just checking. Are we still in combat?
Yeah.
Talking's a
Okay.
free action.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah. This is the longest 6 seconds in eternity.
Well, I'm just trying to get an answer.
A small bird has just sharpened its beak on a mountain made of diamond. A second bird
I'm
appears.
willing, I'm trying to stop this fight before it gets worse.
Well, the question is, do you use an action?
Can I try to persuade him, but with my Emissary of Peace active?
I would not be opposed to that, but you've already attempted a persuasion check this session, but this exact round.
True, that's very
This
good.
session.
Yeah, this session. You're only allowed to persuade anyone, anytime, once per campaign. I don't make the rules, I just make up the rules, as any GM
Wait,
does.
If I use my lay on hands to get rid of curing a disease or neutralizing poison, would that help his tummy stop hurting?
I have no idea,
Oh.
and neither do you.
Well, is it a disease or a poison?
That's an excellent question.
I just
You are not a medical
That is-
It's
professional.
dealing poison damage.
What if I am?
You're not a medical professional. Rolls a 21 medicine check. Oh, yeah?
And there's the inspiration.
And there's the
Thank you.
inspiration.
Yes,
You're
you
right.
laugh.
Thank you, Ellie. All right. So here's the
But
thing.
yes, so
I
with
will
that-
allow this medicine check to be useful for you if you count it as your action. Because
Yeah, I mean, I still have my held action from last time, so yeah.
you can't bank actions for future use.
That's not how it
They're,
works.
they're not
But
serendipity
I am happy
in
with just
GURPS.
standing here and like gently petting the dragon's head while trying to discover if I can heal him. He's sad.
Sad and angry and in a lot of pain.
Yeah, so if I can help with some of this, maybe then we don't have to fight.
So
Gosh, look at me doing my guardian paladin crap.
no one is more shocked than you.
I know.
So as you reach out and try to at least give a cursory examination of this drake, its entire
make it
time
you.
you've laid eyes on it, it looks like it's a pile of rusted metal that has come to life. But as you are now way closer to it, it is obvious that it is not all metal. There is meat and bone under that. The rust is growing through it. The rust is incorporated into it. This is not
Oh,
natural. This is painful. In many ways, it is a poison, but the poison has become integrated into it.
yeah. So for 5 points of my lay on hands pool, can I completely cure it? I'm sorry.
Spend your
Done.
5
dead
points.
silence of the GM,
Spend your 5.
and we'll find out.
Keep in mind, I have previously always been thrilled when people attempted to use things written to be possible in the game for things that they should not be written to be possible for in the game. Looking at
You have
you,
to look a lot.
prestidigitation.
Yep.
I feel obliged to note, and I feel obliged to be the one to note, that strictly speaking, lay on hands will restore this creature to only 19 points down.
No, I don't. No, I'm not trying to heal its health at all.
I understand. I'm just. Oh, you're using the other application of lay on hands.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to
Yeah.
cure
Okay.
something.
Yeah, and
Okay,
and
gotcha.
don't worry, Tex has still done more damage than anyone else at this point, I believe.
including to
No,
these
no,
days.
I've only done 24 damage.
Don't-
Actually,
Don't forget the falling damage you gave to Hobby and A.
Right.
what was that? 8 points apiece.
I believe so.
Yep.
Right?
All right, so that's 40 damage, and I've taken
It's not a contest, but I'm glad that it's a contest.
16 plus 12 is 28. All right,
Also-
I'm ahead. Wait,
Also, I laughed. You have your inspiration back. I told you you win it frequently. So, Chadrick,
me winning is bad, right?
it depends on who you're asking and when you're asking.
But yes,
them, and what prior knowledge. you have.
Everybody but me.
what's up, DM?
So Chadrick spends the 5 points for lay on hands and reaches out and either pats the rustic on the
AT&T's this
head
dragon.
or boops it on the snoot or however you want to do. But
Gentle.
you reach in and wiggle one of its teeth in a calming manner that definitely will not
Oh.
have you pulling back fewer fingers than you started. Somewhere off in the distance, a Kenku screams about teeth. Oh, it's even better because the brush matches the dog's fur color.
Yeah.
Oh,
That looks so soothing.
that is lovely. But pulling my eyes away from that gif and looking instead at the art of the rust drake on the board here surrounded by squiggles, there is a shudder that goes through the rust drake's body, and a lot of the rust encasing it sort of like flakes off and flies away, not unlike a dog shaking after it's gotten a bath. But it's a rust drake, so it's very much not like a dog shaking after it got a bath. Don't breathe that. When it does
Good thing I'm
this-
immune to disease.
Yes. And good thing Mech, who is right behind you, doesn't breathe.
Right. Need for that.
When it does that, you see some bits sticking out of its skull that are not rust colored. They're crystalline.
Aww.
It collapses on the ground in front of it, breathing heavily.
I'm gonna sit down and keep petting it.
I'm going to go through...
How far up am I from the ground?
I would say you're about 20 feet.
Okay.
I'm going to go through the combat
Aim?
initiative, asking people what they're doing. Hobby, what do you do?
Hobby is going to. Well, she doesn't have the high ground anymore. She will wash her shoulder briefly to make, as a free action. Meh. She meant to do that.
It tastes like rust,
Yummy.
which tastes like blood.
Yeah. It.
I have no
That's an
idea why you
excellent
did
sound
that.
effect.
What did you think was going to happen?
Yeah, what did you think would happen when you licked the rust?
Shoulder was dirty. I meant to do that.
Now your tongue is dirty too. And if you could spit in a different direction. I mean, you weren't doing that at me, but there's a cross breeze.
Sorry.
No, Sori's in a different campaign.
True.
We're not talking about her.
She's on a boat, y'all. Anyway, Hobby, do you do anything other than regret licking your shoulder? That's not a context quote.
Mhm.
Hobby would like to sneak. Let's see. What's my move when sneaking? Do I have? Where would that be? Is there a difference in my move when I'm trying to use stealth or?
I think you use stealth as an action and then move.
Okay. In that case, I will do my stealth,
Oh.
That die
With
has
a 26.
to it.
Best sneaking you've done all night.
and I would like to.
No loud
figure out
purring.
what my move is. My move. Where's your move? My move is 30 feet. So, and these are fives.
Yes.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Don't you dare.
I desire.
say
I'm not going to stab the dragon unless the dragon does something terrible. I don't even have my dagger out.
that. That's fair. But know that, I'm very, very cautiously looking at out of the corner of my eye.
You're getting an ear flicked at you. If you even see me, because I'm sneaking with a 25. With 26.
I don't perceive you.
I am a
This
dark
is so the
cat in
opposite
the
of
darkness.
earlier. Before Chadwick
Where's
saw
Hobby?
all.
Where did Hobby go?
I know. No, the thing is, I'm petting a dragon. I'm petting a dragon like a puppy, so we're having a good time.
Your hands
Hopefully.
are covered in rust.
That's fine. I can wash them.
You're gonna need so many tetanus shots. That's not how they work, but still.
That is what Hoppy is doing, and I think I used the action for the thing. I don't think I have any bonus actions that are useful at this time.
All right. Next up is A's
What does
turn.
it look like? Yeah, what does the dragon look like?
It doesn't look 100% like a dragon, but it's draconic like. It's a drake. And
Correct. Is
from
it
a distance, it looks like it's made
still-
entirely of rust. Up close, you can see the wings, like the membranes between the wings, while they're torn and there's holes in them. That is a type of skin. There is flesh and bone underneath, and there's the large imprint of a warhammer on its back.
I wonder why.
yoink and wham?
Pretty much.
Okay. Losing the rust didn't make it more damaged, maybe.
Well, it hasn't really moved other than breathing heavily since Chadwick did his thing.
So back in the original AD&D that well, not original, but the one that I first got when I was real small, there was a thing about subdual. Just want to toss that idea out there. Okay, next person.
Next person is A. Oi. Oi is A's cousin
A.
in another
Uh-huh.
clan. It's a
Yeah.
British clan.
Boy.
They have a
Bye.
member. Some of their members are named Zed. Anyway, A joins the Rust Drake Petting Club.
Yay.
A attempts ear scritches. I am actually going to roll
Scritches.
for ear scritches.
Ears?
scritches. That is a nat
Oh,
one for
no.
ear scritches. It does not like the ear scritches. It flinches.
Do not put your fingers in the ear holes.
Of course not. No, you scratch behind the little ridge there.
I calm it down. I calm it down. I calm it down.
Chadwick discovers that it really enjoys chins.
Yeah, I got a nat 20 for the listeners at home.
One nat one, one
You got a nat
20.
20 for chin scritches,
Interrupt.
and it's not your turn. Technically, they shouldn't allow it. But whatever. Mech.
That's
I
hilarious.
would call that a reaction command. That was reactionary.
It is your turn, Mech. What would you like to do?
Not really sure what to do. I think I'm just gonna stand here behind Chadrick in case that thing gets angry again.
This is the weirdest battle.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I wrote it in the chat earlier. This
Well
is the
done,
most
Chadrick.
uncombat combat I've had in a while.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stand by just in case this thing goes wild and tries to hurt people.
I don't regret sticking to the initiative order because that makes sure everyone has a chance to do a thing. I'm not forgetting anyone. But also, when I created this encounter for tonight, it was with the understanding that it might not end with a
Wait.
lot of fighting.
A
Wait,
gets to roll again.
who gets to roll again?
A gets to roll again.
Why?
Because attacks against the creature are at advantage until the start of my next turn.
We will count ear scritches as an attack in this particular case. You know
It's
what?
an attack to
I'm going to
subdue.
rule of cool that. We will allow it. Second roll is a
That was
15. It is a good enough ear scritch. The Drake has had better.
Or has it? Well, it has from Chadrick, but
Yeah, I have discovered like mecca of scratches, but like
Tex is 20 feet up, hanging by one arm from a skyscraper that's just made of iron girders, going, I helped! Because I hit
It's
it really
true.
hard in the back, the ear scritches are better. This makes sense.
I mean, it does.
That's peak D&D, everyone.
Mhm.
Being hit in the back is worse scritchies with Warhammer. Yeah.
the pain was worth it.
I want to say in all seriousness, but I don't think I can. In any case, Tex, it is now your turn. What do you intend to do?
If I let go, are you going to count the distance I fall against my movement?
I will give you an option, and I have a fair idea of what you will. If you let me roll for damage from the 20-foot fall,
Of course.
it does not count against your move.
Yeah, of course. I was going to take the damage. Sorry, I thought that went unsaid.
Well, you take a whopping
100
4
how
points
you
of
live.
damage. No one who perceives you dropping even thinks you took damage. I don't believe at 4 points of
It's just-
damage, looking at your max health pool, that you would even need to do a 3-point superhero landing. Your knees barely bend.
Yeah, that tracks.
You do, however, land next to perfect silhouettes of rust, of Bagsy and a kobold.
Hobby and A.
although A's looks more like a rust angel, because A did take the opportunity to make a rust angel.
Reasonable.
Crash,
You can't move.
I'm going to give you an opportunity. I'm going to give you an opportunity, and I kind of hope you don't take it. I'm moving. If I have the selection tool selected, I'm moving up here,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm stowing my weapon along the way.
The rust drake vomits
Non-aggression
again. No.
actions. Please don't. We're having a moment, Crash.
It
And
is
I'm
not
gonna
going to
crouch
harm
down.
everyone.
Next to the dragon and say, "Who did this to you?"
Minus the part that you did.
You did. You hit me in the back. No. It breathes heavily like it has been doing, and A leans forward
Do I need a translator?
and whispers in
I
Draconic.
can translate.
I'm always
Exactly.
translating.
Mech knows that A translated,
Okay.
and it responds, blue sparkle.
I want it to be clear, by the way, that I'm quoting a specific Superman comic.
Okay, who's Blue Sparkle whatevers? Am I supposed to know this?
I'm
Why
not
do I
even
have
sure
a bad
he knows
feeling?
it.
Blue
But,
sparkle hue.
What
Nope.
about the person who was taking Chadrick apart?
Yeah, Chadrick, with an insight of roll of 13, I'm going to say the difficulty for this is not very high, because you did, in fact, ask this person to literally rip you into pieces.
Oh. Okay. Why would they do this? Sorry, don't answer. I know you don't know. Why would they do that?
It's either in self-defense or it's because she was bored.
Yeah, I tell everyone, and I'm like, next time we see her, we're gonna have to have a chat.
I don't want to have a chat with her unless I have something in my hands that could, like, even the odds.
Okay, so we're gonna have to stop at Clerics or Us, and then we're gonna have a chat.
Clerics are us, so help me, I will make.
I mean, where else do you go for all of your cleric and other religious needs?
Usually you pray
And
to
also
someone.
your clerical needs. It's also where you get your typewriters.
Fair.
Religion and administration all in one roof. It really does have everything.
I hate that this is making me
God
laugh.
truly is in the details.
I hate that this is funny. How dare you?
I think Chadrick's getting inspiration.
I already have inspiration.
Yeah, that's
Well-
what happens once you have inspiration. It's so easy to get more of it, except you can't get more of it.
I've already cracked, cracked the safe,
Something like that.
but I can't take more.
The jar is full.
Prince rules.
Give me a moment. I'm trying to do. Yes, a thing. And it's relevant. So, when you have this conversation and you're saying, well, when we meet again, we need something that levels the playing, you hear a voice behind you. Oh, good. This is very fortuitous. I was worried that I might need to convince you of the urgency of the quest that I hope you'll be taking up. Hello, my name is PT. I'm from the future and the past. It's very confusing. I'm here to help. After you came back in time, everything got very messed up. And that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Yep.
Wow.
And thank you everyone for listening. Thank you for playing. My name is Crash. I was your DM for the evening. Tonight we were joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ellie, Millie, and Jen, who I keep wanting to call Onkamav because that's her username, and it throws me off every single time, and it shouldn't. Because I've been
Sorry.
calling her Jen longer than the Onka character existed.
Yes.
But I
Right,
also
yes,
almost called Ellie
I just
Ely
like
tonight.
the name.
I mean, it's a good name. So, who wants to distract our audience from my inability to remember people's first names by plugging something?
Well,
Yeah,
Eo's mom writes
Mom
books.
Books. Elizabeth-mccoy.com. And
Beth, you gotta let me
just
do
check around
something.
Oh, sorry. Your turn.
My turn?
No. I do the transitions.
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay. You do the transition. Sorry.
It's okay.
We can
Come
start
on.
over.
Books.
Right, yeah, no problems there. Yeah, so my website is Book of Jen at bookofjen.net. It does have some reviews up. I've been reading a lot of stuff. I just haven't gotten it all online yet. And it's also got a lot of Diablo type stuff and whatever other things like that's bookofjen.net. And I am the host of the Shattered Soulstone podcast, which comes out once a week on Saturdays and is usually about the stuff going on with Activision Blizzard and whatever Diablo stuff comes up and that sort of thing. You can find that at shadowrun.com.
And speaking of Chris Metzen, websites.
He did return, though. He did return to Warcraft. So, yeah, go ahead.
Is that
Millie
me?
runs a social media website.
I do. It's called elekk.xyz, elec.xyz. It is a Schrodinger's federated social media site where I, as the person who's running it, kick out the people who are absolutely mean for no reason or have not socially acceptable views from interacting with you, and get to hang out with people who don't follow those situations. So, it's kind of like a Twitter, but without having to block people every 2 seconds. Yeah.
And speaking of Patreons,
Speaking of cats in front of monitors, I have one.
A monitor and a cat?
I have more than one monitor, and Kat has learned that if I move a window from one monitor to another monitor, then he can also walk from one monitor to another monitor, also demanding ear scritches. But now he's self-conscious and walks away.
You said the word and if.
All right, so you can get all of our stuff for
Patreons.
100% free without using Patreon by going to aaronbsmith.com/cogwheel and seeing all the podcast feeds there. But if you
This is new.
But if you like what we do and want to contribute to the Break Even Fund, well then we also have a Patreon. Patreon.com/cogwheelgaming. You can help us keep the lights on, along with other illustrious patrons, including Chris, Ellie, Shanshen, Walter, and patron emeritus Cindy. And until next time, this is Crash saying, do I have a fan club? Good night, everybody.
It's not a fan club. Good night.